In this video, we will look at exam questions on the topic of HTML and CSS. If you haven't already done so, click the link on the bottom right of your screen to subscribe to our channel to get the latest notifications on videos once they're uploaded. And if you like our video, please give us a thumbs up. So let's look at question 1. A page on a website contains an image that is used as a hyperlink. The name of the image is ticket.png. When the image is clicked, the page name buygoods.htm is loaded. Write the HTML code to implement this hyperlink. So let's now take some time to break this line of code down. So firstly, we have our A tag with an href in it. Now, the href attribute is specifying the link to, in this case, to the HTML file. So this is an internal link loading another page within the same website. So when we click on this particular link, the buygoods.html file will be rendered by the browser. Also, there is an additional attribute here for img source or image source. So that attribute will in essence allow the image to act as a hyperlink. So when the user hovers over it, it will show as a link. So a quick note, the href attribute specifies the destination link address, and the img source is specifying the source of the image to be used as the link itself. Next question. Describe the purpose of HTML and CSS. Right, let's just break that down into two different sections. Let's answer the first part of the question based on HTML and the second on CSS. So HTML, or hypertext markup language, defines the content of the page. So the text, any images, any links, any headings. So it's the actual content of the page itself. How we do that is by using HTML tags, such as the h1 tag for a heading. HTML tags can also have additional control within them in the form of embedded attributes, and they will give us further control over the tag. So for instance, in question 1, we had an href tag which had an additional attribute stipulating the image to be used as the link. CSS defines the presentational control of that HTML content. In other words, the color, the presentation, the position, the fonts, background colors, cell padding, all of those kind of visual controls of the HTML content itself. How we do that is by using CSS classes and CSS IDs. We can add CSS control to HTML files within the HTML file itself, or we can connect the HTML file to an external CSS file. This would allow us to use the same CSS controls over multiple HTML files. Next question. The following is a website written in HTML. So let's just look at the code. We have our start HTML tag, and end HTML tag. We have our heading section and we have our body section. Within the heading, the head tag, we have our title tag of KTM motorbikes, and we have our link to our external CSS file. So we can see that this is linking to a CSS file called ktm.css. For simplicity's sake, I've kept this ktm.css file in the same subfolder as the HTML file that you're currently looking at the moment. So that moves us on to the body section. So we have an H1 heading of KTM Adventure Motorbikes, and notice it has a CSS ID tag of KTM. This will be used in our CSS script to control the presentational control of the H1 tag. We've then got an H2 heading, slightly smaller heading, and then we have an unordered list which has 2 items within it. The 2 items being 2 models of motorbike. So that is the end of the unordered list with the 2 list items within it. That is the end of the body section and the end of the HTML. The question then stipulates the following formatting requirements are needed. For this CSS ID of KTM, which is the text KTM Adventure Motorbikes, we would use the font family of Times and the text color of orange. For the CSS class, you can see the class is identified here, class model. For the list items Adventure 890 and the Adventure 1290 models, we would like to use the font family of Arial and the font color of red. So finally, the exam question asks us to write the CSS needs to display the website so that it meets the formatting needs within this table. So first of all, you'll notice that we are defining the class identifier of the list item.model, and we are stipulating a font color of red, and we are stipulating a font family of Arial. So that allows us to move on to the CSS identifier. Notice it's got a hashtag to start. So that's how we tell the difference between a CSS class and a CSS identifier. We have the font color of orange and the font family of Times. So we've actually used 2 different types of identifier here, the CSS class and the CSS identifier. So you can see within the code, look, if I just refer to it, here's the use of the CSS identifier, and here is the use of the CSS class. So I've just put a little note on the bottom there just to help the learner ensure they know the difference. So just out of interest, I've loaded the HTML file into a browser, and you can see that the HTML file is successfully linked to the external CSS file, which is stipulating the presentational control of the KTM Adventure Motorbikes title, as well as the list items within the unordered list within our HTML file. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit the thumbs up button and don't forget to subscribe to my channel.